Hi, everybody. My name is Simiya, and I'm here to lead you in a yoga class in your house. So I'm in my living room. Welcome to my living room. And this is where I'm going to practice with you today. So before we get started, I have a couple of things that I'm going to use in our class. I borrowed some of my kids' toys. And you may want to take a couple of minutes to find something that we'll use later in the class. So I have some Beanie Babies. I have this cute little, I think it's a sheep. The sheep Beanie Baby that I'm going to use, and I also found some fruit. So something soft, because we're going to put it on our bellies later, or you can put it on your chest later. So think of a toy that's soft, maybe your favorite stuffed animal, and take a couple of minutes to find that. And then I'm going to have a seat. So behind me, I have a yoga mat. You can use a yoga mat if you have one. If you don't, you can sit on the floor, on your carpet, or on the hardwood floor. Any type of floor is fine. So find your toys, and then we'll meet in the seat. So whenever you're ready, you can come into a comfortable seat. It could be a cross-legged seat like this. I have my legs crossed, or you can kneel. So maybe you're sitting on your knees. Find something that feels most comfortable for you. So we're going to start by working with our breath. So also forgot, once you find your toys, just take them off to the side. So we're going to start by working with our breath, and we're going to come into a breath that's called bumblebee breath, and we get to make some cool sounds with our mouth when we work on this breath. So let me come a little closer first so you can see what the choices are for this breath. So you all can still stay in your seat. So for bumblebee breath, you could do this with your eyes closed or your eyes open. And if you have your eyes open, maybe you look at a single point in the house, something that feels relaxing. Maybe you look out the window and look at a plant or something like that. So for bumblebee breath, either with your eyes open or your eyes closed, you can take your fingers, so you could use your index finger, and then take your fingers to your ears. So you can close your ears with your fingers, or just let the fingers touch the insides of the ears, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And then whenever you're ready, you'll take a deep breath in through your nose. And then when you're ready to breathe out, you'll hum like this. So imagine that you're a bee buzzing. So you just keep going just like that. Inhale through your nose, and then exhale with a buzz. So let's do that 5 times. I'm going to go back over to my seat, and then we'll get started. So remember, your eyes could be closed or your eyes could be looking at something in front of you at a very soft gaze. You can take your fingers, maybe your index finger or your thumb inside of your ears. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then exhale as you buzz. Let's do 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. And the last one. So if you still have your fingers in your ears, you can relax your hands. Maybe your hands come down to your lap. You could rest your hands on your thighs or your hands on your knees, and just notice how you feel. I really love bumblebee breath, especially if I'm in a bad mood or I'm angry. That breath makes me feel pretty calm. So I like to do that anytime I'm feeling like a little frustrated with somebody or frustrated with something that's going on. So whenever you're ready, let's stand up, and we're going to come into a mountain pose. So mountain pose, you're standing really firm into your feet, and you're going to bring your hands to your heart just like this. So I'd like to lead you all through a couple of poses that make me think of spring. So since it's spring, I have my windows open in my house. It feels pretty good. I can hear people cutting the grass, so I thought we could do a spring yoga practice. So as you come into your mountain pose with your hands at your heart, stand really strong. So you're rooting down, you're pressing down through all 4 corners of your feet. Your legs feel really strong, your belly's strong, your heart is strong, and your shoulders are relaxed. And the top of your head, the crown of your head, is pressing all the way up. So just take a couple of breaths here. And when you're ready, let's take the arms all the way up and overhead. So as you reach up, maybe you look up and you stretch up, and you can pretend like you're grabbing energy, you're grabbing sunlight from the sun, and you're pulling that all the way back down towards your heart. So you'll bring your hands together at the center of your heart. And we'll do that a couple more times. Each time you breathe in, we take your arms all the way up and overhead. Maybe you look up. And then as you breathe out, bring your hands down to the center of your heart. And let's keep going like this. Inhale, look up, stretch up. And exhale, bring your hands down. Let's do that 2 more times. And 1 more time. So pause here in your strong mountain pose for 1 full breath. So breathe all the way in and all the way out. So we were mountains, then we gathered some energy from the sun, and something else that happens a lot in the springtime is rain. So we're gonna pretend to be rain. You could be a rainstorm, a rain shower, maybe you're a couple of drops of rain, and I'll show you how to do that. So whenever you're ready, take your arms all the way up and overhead. You can look all the way up. And this time, as we breathe out, let's come all the way forward. So we're just gonna hang here in a forward fold. So my knees can be bent, or your legs can be straight, and then you can have your arms dangling down, your head dangling down, and maybe you sway from side to side, let your fingertips drape the ground, and then you can pretend to be some light rain here, or if you want to move faster, you can sway from side to side and be more like a thunderstorm or a rainstorm. Let's do this for a couple more breaths. Maybe you're going a little faster, or a little slower than me. Take 1 more breath, and then come all the way back to your forward fold, and just hang out here, breathing in and out. And then when you're ready, you're gonna come into a squat, and we'll plant a garden. So for my squat, I have my toes pointing out, my heels are pointing in, and I'm gonna sit down like this. So all 4 corners of my feet are touching the floor. It's okay if yours aren't. And then you can take your hands down in front of you, and maybe you pretend to pick some flowers that are coming up, or you could pretend to put some seeds in the ground. So I know I need to get started on my garden, and I'm gonna pretend like I'm planting it right now. So maybe you sway from side to side as you plant your garden, or you could be still. And then maybe you close your eyes and you could bring your hands together at the center of your heart and imagine yourself outside in a garden, planting a garden. Let's take 2 more breaths like this. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Whenever you're ready, let's come into a seat, and we're gonna come into butterfly pose. So I love spring and summer. My birthday is next month in May, so of course I love spring. And I love butterflies. So we're gonna pretend to be a butterfly. You could bring your feet together, so the soles of your feet are together. Your hands can be on the outsides of your feet, or maybe your hands are grabbing for your ankles. And my knees are out wide. If this feels uncomfortable, you can always scoot your feet a little bit more forward, or scoot your feet back towards your body. And then whenever you're ready, sit up really tall, relax your shoulders down your back, and let's start to flap our wings. So I'm just lifting my knees up and down a few times, and maybe you're flying slowly, so your flaps of your wings are just nice and gentle, or you really have somewhere to go, and you've got to flap your wings pretty fast. So I'm really busy right now as a butterfly, so my wings are flapping pretty fast. Let's just take a couple more breaths here like this. All right, when you're ready, pause. Keep your legs like this. Take an inhale, lift your heart. And then as you exhale, fold forward. So you can come into a fold as far as you want. So maybe your hands are here, or you can start to walk your hands out even further forward and relax your head down. And notice what you feel in your body. Sometimes I feel a little creaky, sometimes something hurts when I do this. So I have to move around a little bit from side to side. I'll just take 1 more breath like this. So as you're ready, come all the way back up and make your way onto your belly. So we're gonna come onto our belly and we're gonna pretend to be a caterpillar. So as we come into our caterpillar pose, the tops of my feet are on the mat, and I'm gonna take my hands next to my sides of my body. So my hands are here. You can also bring your hands together at your low back. And then as you breathe in, lift up. So lift up the front of your body, lift your legs up, lift your arms up. So your hands can be like this, or you can reach your arms forward. And maybe you want to wiggle from side to side, like a little caterpillar, moving around, looking for some food. Let's take a couple more breaths like this. Or if you don't want to move, you could come through center and just hold here and breathe. Let's take 2 more breaths. Take a big breath in and a big breath out, and you can release your hands. And let's come into a tabletop pose. So as you come into a tabletop pose, you're coming onto your hands and your knees. Let's move our spine around a little bit, and we can be cats and cows. So as you're ready, as you inhale, you can lift your hips, lift your heart, and lift your gaze so you're looking up. And then as you exhale, you can round your spine, look towards your belly button. This is cat pose. So as you breathe in, you can breathe in with a moo. And as you breathe out, you can make a cat sound. Meow. So as you're ready, keep going. Inhale, moo if you'd like, and exhale with that meow. And if you'd like to add some more movement, maybe you wiggle from side to side. You can look from side to side as well. And just keep moving with your cat and your cow pose. And let's take one more round like this. As you're ready, come all the way back into your tabletop pose. Pause here for a moment. And let's make our way up to standing once again. So as you stand on your mat, we're going to get ready to go into a balance pose. We're going to practice tree pose. So all the trees in my neighborhood are starting to have some beautiful flowers on them. Some of them are even growing leaves. So we're going to pretend to be really strong like a tree. So when you're ready, let's start with the left foot. So this is my left leg. I'm going to press into my left foot, and then I'm going to bring my right foot to a kickstand. So my right knee's coming out. If you'd like, you can keep your hands here. Or if you want, you can reach your arms all the way up and overhead. Maybe you look up. So if you want, you can keep your right foot low. Or if you want to have a little bit more challenge for your balance, bring your right foot to the inside of your left leg. And do your best to keep your right foot above or below your knee. So here, as we come into tree pose, you can look at something in front of you. Hopefully it's something that's not moving. Or if you really want to challenge, you can close your eyes. If you like to play around a little bit, you can sway from side to side, like you're a tree blowing in the wind. Or you can pretend to be a strong and still tree. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. Go up a little bit taller for 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And when you're ready, you can breathe out, relax your hands if your arms are up and overhead, and then relax your right foot. So we've got to do the other side. So I like to wiggle a little bit before I move on to the other side. And then when you're ready, step into your right foot. So make sure your right foot feels really strong. And then you can bring your left foot to that kickstand again. So my left knee is out. So you can choose to stay here just like this. Your hands can be out, or you can reach your arms up. And just like the other side, if you want a little bit more challenge, you could bring your left foot to the inside of your right leg and do your best to keep your left foot above or below your knee. So find the best place for your hands, and maybe you're wiggling from side to side. Maybe you're holding still or you're looking up. We'll take 3 deep breaths here. 1 more breath. Great. When you're ready, you can come out Maybe you need to wiggle around a little bit more. So sometimes I like to do these little windmill things where I move from side to side. And maybe you need to shake a little bit, so you can shake your hands, shake your arms, shake your legs. And then maybe you shake all the way forward, coming back into that rain pose. So we're in that forward fold. And then you can let your fingertips sway from side to side as you fold forward. And if you need to speed it up, you can move from side to side a little bit faster. I'll just take a couple more breaths here. Great. When you're ready, come back through to stillness. And then we're going to slowly roll all the way up to standing. So slowly come up. Rise all the way up. Take your arms up and overhead. Maybe you look up at your hands. And then as you breathe out, bring your hands together at the center of your heart. Great. Just take a couple of breaths here, standing. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to play a quick game before we get with these cool toys and take a little bit of rest. So this game is called If It's True for You. So we're going to go through a couple of yoga poses in this game. And I think we'll just do 3. And I'll make the poses kind of hard. So we're going to challenge our balance. So if it's true for you, when we play this game, I'm going to say something. And if it's true for you, you're going to come into the yoga pose that I call out. So say the first thing I say is, if you love pepperoni pizza, go into tree pose. So if you do love pepperoni pizza, you would stand here in tree pose. The trick is with this game, you can't go on to the next pose if it's not true for you. So if the next thing I say is, if you eat worms, come into mountain pose. And if you don't eat worms, then guess what? You're going to stay here in tree pose. So whenever you're ready, we're going to go through 3 quick poses like this. So let's start here in mountain pose. Hands together at heart center. Your feet can be close towards each other. And let me think. Okay. If your favorite color is purple, let's come into warrior 3. So if you love purple, this is what warrior 3 looks like. You're standing on one leg is going back. You can keep your hands together at heart center, or you can take your hands out like this, or the hands out in front of you. So just take a few more breaths here while I think of the next pose. All right, if you love French fries, let's come into tree pose. So if you don't like French fries, you have to stay in warrior 3. If you like French fries, come here. I love French fries. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Ooh, I almost fell over. All right, 1 more breath. And then when you're ready, the next pose, if you have a dog, go into dancer's pose. So if you don't have a dog, stay in the pose that you were already in. So I'm going to hop forward. I have a dog. Her name is Rosie. So I'm going to come into dancer's pose. So this is dancer's pose. I'm grabbing for my foot. My knee is bent. And then I can stay here like this. Or you can lean forward. Maybe you take your left arm out. Let's take 2 full breaths. Great. If you're still standing and you didn't fall over, great. Let's come all the way back to mountain pose, hands together at heart center. And when you're ready, let's grab our toys. So maybe you have more than one. I think I'm going to stick with this little lamb today. I'm going to take a few moments of rest on our mat. So whenever you're ready, you can lay down on your mat. And your eyes could be closed, or you could keep your eyes open if you'd like. So as you get ready to lay down on your mat, you can take your friend, or we have more than one friend. You can take one friend to your belly and one friend to the heart space. Or if you have one, just let that friend hang out on your belly. Then you can take your hands at your sides, your palms can face up if you like. And just lay here for a few moments. And as you breathe in and out, you can feel your toy or your friend moving on your body. And if you'd like to watch, you can open your eyes, and as you breathe, you can watch your friend rise up and down with your breath. As I take some really deep breaths, I can move my friend up pretty high. And as I breathe out, my friend gets closer to my body. Let's take 5 more breaths here. Take 2 more deep breaths like this. And whenever you're ready, you start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe you'd like to circle your ankles and your wrists. You could bring your arms up and overhead, take a big stretch, or you could take your knees in towards your heart, wrap your hands around your shins with the backs of your thighs and rock from side to side. And then whenever you're ready, you could grab your friend and your friend can come along with you. And then make your way over onto your side and come up into a seat. And if your friend's still there, your friend can hang out on your lap or somewhere on your thighs. You can have your eyes closed or your eyes could be open. And just notice how you feel. Let's take one more breath here, noticing. Then if your eyes are closed, you can go ahead and blink open your eyes. I'll come closer so I can say goodbye to everybody. Thank you all so much for joining me from my living room and hanging out today, and I hope you enjoyed the class. Everybody take care. Bye.